Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us for another Kodak Info Input Solution short. I've got my HTML client here this time, and I would like to demonstrate our new advanced indexing forms. This allows us to customize our indexing windows to provide a better flow, a more natural user experience, and it's all about making things as efficient as possible and as comfortable as we possibly can for our end users performing indexing. So if I open up my batch menu, I've got the option of selecting the next indexing task, which will automatically get the next batch that's ready for indexing. Or I can select my next indexing task, which allows me to select a specific batch that's ready for indexing, which I will now do. And I have one for my health insurance claims. So let's open that one up. Now from here, I can see the full batch. On the left-hand side, I've got my batch menu, which shows my batch structure. So I've got my main batch, and then within that, I've got 12 documents, and you can see they're all double-sided health insurance claim forms. If I select my indexing, this will take me to the indexing window. In the center of the page, we can quite clearly see we have our page preview. On the right-hand side, we have our indexing form. Now, this is one that I've actually created some customizations. You can see on the top right-hand side, I've got a custom image. I've also got tabs. So in the Java client, we have all of our indexing fields from top to bottom in a vertical structure. We've got no ability to create tabs and to adjust where exactly the indexing fields are in relation to one another. With the HTML client, we've got the ability now to create tabular formats. We can adjust where we want fields to be. We can add static text. Perhaps we might have a specific reminder that we might want to present users on the page, etc. So for this particular example, I have chosen to select a patient, an insured, and an episode tab. So I've created this tabular structure to isolate the different sections of the page. So the patient tab, of course, has patient information. If I go to my insured tab now, this has information that's been extracted from the page regarding the insured individual's information. This may or may not be the same person as the patient. And then we also have the episode tab. Now, this is information specific to this visit to hospital, which may or may not span multiple days. Another really cool feature of the HTML client is that within all of our indexing field views, we have inline the percentage of confidence of extraction. So that is the system telling us how confident it was in this particular result during extraction. And we can see in green, that's indicating that the percentage returned is higher than the minimum threshold. Any fields that are highlighted in red, such as this patient state, and in this case we can see the confidence was 46 and the minimum that we've configured for this particular indexing field is 75. Now we can see that's a T, not an I, so I'm just going to quickly fix that one up. And now because a human or a user has manually intervened, the system has now converted that to green. It's now comfortable that the value is correct on the basis that a human has intervened in this case. With the patient date of birth, once again, similar situation. I'm just going to fix up that particular value, and once again, we're back to green. If I press enter, it'll automatically take me to the next field that has an error, and that could be because the confidence is below the minimum requirement. It could be because there's a validation error based on that particular indexing field's validation rules, etc. Once again, I can quickly fix up this error. Now in this case, we can see we've got a very low confidence of 16, which is fine. I'll just quickly fix that up. I could very easily do this on the basis that I have my custom indexing form. I've got all of my fields here. We can also see that I've got a preview of all of the extraction zones. in line next to our indexing fields. So rather than me necessarily needing to tab through each of these fields to see the preview, like we would in the Java client, in the HTML client, I can simply look at all of these fields, very quickly scan across each of these. I can see exactly what data was extracted and what particular snippet of the page was used for this extraction, and just validate that data. Once all that's conducted, I close the batch, it goes off to the next step, and then exported in PDF format, TIFF format, etc., depending on the job configuration. And then also the data that we've extracted can be exported to a database. We can push it to a text file, whatever's required for the next system where this data is going to be used. Thanks for watching.
Kodak Alaris. Makes sense.